it's Jacob Ramos here. Today I'm going to tell you about the solar system and the planets. I'm going to tell you about the planets first, and then the solar system, and using this big book. The sun is a star, but it's actually bigger than regular stars, and it's the first closest to Earth, our home, where we live, that has gravity to keep us on the ground. And you know, there's. Can you see on the sun? There's like that fire blade popping out. Yeah, it's actually called a solar flare. And the sun, it helps us live on Earth, and all the plants and animals. It helps us live. It helps us humans live, and all of the animals and all of the plants. So I'm going to turn to Mercury. But I think they know that the sun is in the center of. Right now I'm going to talk about Mercury to you. I'm going to talk about the planets to you in order. And even though some ripped, I can still just read them. Because only the pictures of the planets like this. Yeah. So, Mercury is a little bit bigger than Earth's moon because it's the smallest of the 8 planets. So, that's why it's a little bit bigger than Earth's moon. And Mercury orbits the fastest because it's the closest to the sun and has the smallest orbit. What an orbit is. So I'm just going to tell you, if you don't know what an orbit is, like it goes around the sun. So and the further the planets are, the more years it takes. So Venus and Mercury, they're not actually a full Earth year, but Venus, is longer. It has a longer day than Earth because. Wait, I'm not going to talk about that yet. Wait, sorry, I forgot. And Mercury, it has craters, and a whole year on Mercury is actually 88 days compared to Earth. I'll tell you about Earth, how many it is and Mercury is Earth has 300 and something to make a whole year. And Mercury has craters as well. And right now I'm talking about Venus, and it's very hot because that's the planet that has most of the volcanoes, and it has carbon dioxide. That's why it's very hot. And as well, it has thick clouds. I need to tell you about what thick is. Thick, it's the opposite of thin, and thick, it's a bit fat, like white. And that's another fact why it's hot. And it's the second planet in orbit around the sun. And Venus spins the opposite direction as Earth does. And even though it's the hottest planet in the solar system, and even though it's in the second place and Mercury's in the first place, it has carbon dioxide, and Mercury kind of doesn't. So that's why Venus is a bit hotter. and that's all I can talk about for Venus right now. So now I'm going to talk about for Earth. Yeah, it's not actually in the book, so I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk about Earth to you because I know about it off by heart because I have another space book. It's our home and just in a perfect spot in orbit around the sun for us humans in Earth to live. So there's countries on Earth, and that's where some people live. They don't kind of live in the ocean, but Earth is our home, and it has some animals in other countries like dogs, cats, but we have animals in every country. So that's all I can talk to you about Earth. Wait, no, that's not all. I will tell you something else. Instead of seeing, us from space, like some astronauts say, they don't even see us from their suits when they're next to Earth because we're surrounded by clouds like Venus. So, okay, now I'm going to talk. So that's all I can talk to you about Earth now. Now I'm going to talk about Mars. Mars is the fourth planet in orbit around the sun. So and Mars has iron on it, and it has lots of rock, and scientists got information from astronauts that astronauts think that they think there's water on when they dig up in Mars. Yeah. Mars has 2 moons called and the one they're different sizes. So the smallest one is called Deimos, and the bigger one is called Phobos. Mars gets the red color from its iron that I just talked about to you of Mars earlier. It has iron, and the iron makes the color of Mars. And that's all I can talk about to you. Now I'm going to go to Jupiter. I finished the rocky planets. Now I'm going to talk about Jupiter. It's the first gas planet. I'm going to talk about Jupiter. You can see those can you see those sin rings there? I can quite see them. Tell me in the comments below if you see the rings on Jupiter. And Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system, and it spins the fastest on its axis, not orbit the fastest. I mean that it spins, while it's orbiting, it spins faster than all of the other planets that are in the solar system. And you can see those white and brown bands. They're just made up because Jupiter spins a bit quickly. That makes those bands like, and then it makes that. Yeah. I don't know how many moons there are. It said it's more than 3, but 3 is all I can see. 3 moons around Jupiter, but it, you have to watch a video about the solar system because this is not true, because we can't. It said it has more moons than 3. Now I'm gonna. Okay, now that's all I can talk about to you for Jupiter. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about Saturn. You know, now you can see those rings. You know, people tell me in the comments below if you didn't see them on Jupiter. But, yeah, so Saturn has, you know, a bit lighter rings than all of the other planets that has rings. So, and it has the most rings around it, because you can see it's sick, but actually, can you see those black things? You know, that means it has more than one ring. So it's made. And the rings on Saturn are made of, you know, dust. The rings are made out of, and rocks and chunks of ice. And, you know, instead of going into there and just standing there, you would have get sucked in because it's a gas planet like Jupiter. So, okay. And Saturn, yeah, is the second biggest in the solar system. And yeah, and that's all I can talk about to you. Oh, look at it. Look, here's just a few of them. It has more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because you know, it's just a picture, and you can't, and you know, it's all around like asteroids surrounding a planet, and that's how it's like. And Titan, yeah, look, it's the farthest as I know. I seen a photograph from astronauts around Saturn, and then I saw that Titan, this one here. Look. Yeah, it's the biggest. Yeah, it's the biggest moon that Saturn has. Yeah, and yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. Now I'm gonna talk to you about Uranus. And you know, it's tilted on the side, and astronauts think, they told science that they think one big thing, yeah, half the size of Uranus crashed into it, then caused it to tilt, like sideways, like that. You can see the rings, like Portrait, and all the other planets that has rings, their rings are landscape. It's just because, you know, that Uranus has a magnetic thing that stays it in place, and then when it tilted, you know, it followed Uranus as it tilted. And it has 27 moons. Yeah. But I haven't heard all of their names yet. I heard none of their names yet, so I don't know which one is the biggest. So, unfortunately, I'll tell you that in my next, when I you know, like do one recap of this. Yeah, I'll tell you that what the biggest moon, because it has 27 moons, and I'll tell you the biggest one. Uranus is the coldest of all of the planets because it has more ice than Neptune. That's all I can talk to you about. And so now, time for Neptune, but after Neptune, I will still carry on the video because I need to tell you something about. Okay, I'll just tell you that after Neptune. So now I'm going to talk to you about Neptune. And you can see that big, you can see that label. That label. You can see where it's pointing to, the great dark spot. It has a red spot on Jupiter. Neptune is the farthest from the sun and cold, but the second coldest in the solar system because, when I talked about Uranus, I told you that it has more ice. Neptune, you can't quite see the rings. Wait, oh yeah, it doesn't have any rings. Well, it still has an equator, like Earth, and it's only water. I don't know why on Neptune, because and then that's how it gets cold. Because when I was a bit young and I knew about the planets, I thought Neptune was the coldest, and then I watched the video when I was a bit older, and then it said that Uranus is the coldest instead of this guy Neptune. Neptune is my favorite planet. Tell me in the comments below, because that's all I know about Neptune. If you know any more facts about Neptune, because that's all I can talk about to you. Talk about Pluto, one of the 9th planets. Yeah, it used to be the 9th planet before 2006, and then in 2006, not 16, 6, scientists got information from astronauts that it is no longer a planet because it's a bit far away from them. Yeah, and then the astronauts said to the science guys, they said, hey, Pluto is too small to be a planet. It has to be a dwarf planet now. That's what they said now. So now that's it for today, guys. So make sure you watch my next video, because I'm gonna talk about the people from the past. This book. Now smash the notification bell and that subscribe button, and comment below if you want to say something about this video, and hit that like button, and don't forget to show your support and show it to your friends and your family. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.